Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the 6th Retro Rant review. And for this review, we have with us a special guest reviewer, Zlad Tzoni. This time, we will be taking a look at Bargon Attack, developed and published by Coktel Vision in 1992 for DOS, Amiga, and Atari ST. This is an adventure game I didn't have back in the day, but wanted to check out because I quite like Coktel Vision's adventures, and I like to go back to Amiga adventure games in the hopes that I might be discovering a hidden gem that I've missed. We will be reviewing here the DOS version because I had some problems with the Amiga WHD load, but they play essentially the same apart from the following intro sequence.
At this time, I was living in Paris, facing the Eiffel Tower. The River Seine is flowing very near. The Champs-Élysées Avenue is not very far. As far as I'm concerned, I was living more on the east side. From my bedroom, I could see Montmartre. The sight was great, but I could not take advantage of it. I spent all my time playing Bargon Attack. Suddenly, everyone had become crazy with that game. The Bargomanian had spread like wildfire. But some people disappeared, every day, without being noticed. A few persons had raised the alarm, but they had been murdered. What could have rung a bell to us Earthlings was the name of the firm which had published Bargon Attack. It was called Invaders. The Invaders? That was a complete surprise. Dazzling attack. Within a few hours the Earth was turned into blood and fire. The Bargonian hordes were marching, slaughtering, mutilating the population. Then, in order to perfect their task, the Bargonians disintegrated the Earth. Fortunately Bob Sprite, was already on Bargon to catch up with him.
I am not very fond of the graphics in this game. The starting game window feels about 10 pixels in height, and the animation looks very clunky, while I dislike the use of color.
There are some decent cartoony cutscenes every now and then which look nice and the game window gets bigger.
But overall the visuals seem lazy and basic. It's not even a patch on some Amiga public domain adventure game titles. I actually have a lot of fun with this guy who looks like Spider-Man's poor cousin who just got a job in the bank. The sound in this game is virtually non-existent, apart from some annoying sound effects and the game over sequence. I will deliberately lower down the volume out of respect for the viewer. I hope you like it, because you will be hearing this a damn lot. And don't be fooled by the lack of music into thinking that this will be a quiet game. You will be lulled into a false sense of peace and security when you will die, and you will die a lot. And listen to this at full volume. Don't play this with headphones unless you have some kind of fetish for unbearable auditory jump scares.
At least it lets you replay from the screen in which you died, so the developers tried to be a bit fair here. Of course, gameplay is everything, and the poor presentation can actually be forgiven if there is a great storyline, a friendly interface, and intelligent puzzles.
Unfortunately, we have neither of these here. The story is a mess. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I managed to complete this game without understanding what the hell was going on, except from that there are some aliens that have invaded Earth. Very original and very thought-provoking.
Supposedly, the game is based on a French cartoon, so maybe the plot and characters might make more sense to people familiar with this cartoon. There was some nice potential for story development with the religious groups and the conflicting alien politics.
But ultimately, the plot has the coherence of a hasty collage of rain-drenched cardboard pieces made in random by a drunken hamster with attention deficiency. Maybe it's the poor English translation from the French studio. I am not a native English speaker myself, but this game is just a mess as far as the story is concerned.
The interface itself is quite simple and intuitive, thankfully. Later in the game, there is a nice mechanic in which you obtain some sweet alien powers.
Unfortunately, this mechanic gets exploited by the game so much, so that wits and imagination and every other adventure gaming skill is tossed out of the window, and you just have to use these alien powers to solve almost every puzzle from then on. So lazy. Another annoying, although not game-breaking feature is the need to take notes for information contained in things you have in your possession, but magically vanish when you reach a new location. You have been warned. There is also lots of pixel hunting, which I absolutely hate, even more now that age has taken its toll on my eyesight. There are some items which are literally a few pixels in size, so prepare to scan the screen all the time with a cursor like a lunatic. There are some puzzles in which you have to first walk in a specific place before you engage in a specific action. If you perform this very same action while standing in a different place, you get nothing or you die. For example, say you want to use object X in the second column in a row of 3. If you click with the object on the second column, it does nothing. You actually have to manually walk over there and then use the object. This just feels unfair to the player, and it is implemented so poorly that you just feel your grey matter committing ritual suicide. Lastly, there is a fiendish action minigame, which takes forever and quite a few flukes to overcome. Even worse, there is a bug in the Amiga WHD load version, which makes this minigame unwinnable, so I had to restart this goddamn thing from the beginning from the DOS version. At least that way I got to watch the cheesy quasi-FMV intro sequence, exclusive to the DOS version, which was actually kind of fun. Any positives?
Well, there were some clever puzzles which offer a genuine sense of accomplishment, and there are also a couple of nice art references. The interface is easy to get into and nice, and it brings to mind other games by Coktel.
Coktel Vision, which were actually favorites of mine back in the day. But overall, this game feels very substandard, and I will not be recommending it to anyone but the most hardened adventurer who wants to complete everything. So, that was Bargon Attack, released by Coktel Vision back in good old 1992. So, this brings this review to an end, and I'll see you next time.
Bye bye!